this Friday. And I said, wait a minute, there's no time to even promote it. I can't tell anybody who's going to be out there. He said, well, you have to, and here's why. Chuck is out of prison, but one of the conditions in getting out of prison is that he had to have a job. And we told the parole board that the only place in the United States where Chuck Berry can record is Bald Lake Casino. So whether you want it or not, he's coming there Friday and Saturday. Well, I got a hold of our friend Barney Lewis, who was our high school graduate friend. We were able to get the Funk Brothers from Motown to come to Walt Lake Casino, and Chuck Berry came in. Now, I picked Chuck Berry up at the Crestwood Motel on 8 Mile Road. Chuck Berry was about 6'5½". He had a guitar and an amplifier with him, and I had a '63 Corvette. And so here's Chuck Berry and me, and the guitar and the amplifier and the Corvette, and we're on our way. This is an absolute true story. We're on our way to Walt Lake Casino.
Your guys still here, they want a picture
It's
taken.
not far from this building.
By the door.
And he said, you know, I'm afraid that I might have to have a tube replaced in my amplifier. So we stopped at a drugstore. Some of you are old enough to remember that in the drugstores, we used to have things where you could go and test your tube. So here's Chuck Berry and me standing in the drugstore, testing tubes, and people were walking up saying, are you Chuck Berry? We get out of there, we're on our way to Walt Lake Casino. We're on the freeway, coming out this way. But not very far, because there's a huge traffic jam, and the traffic is stopped. And I'm on the air at 7:15, and it's 10 minutes to 7. And I finally got out of the car because everything was stopped. And there was a Michigan State policeman, and he came by, and I said, sir, could you tell me how long that accident might be before it's cleared? He said, well, there's no accident there. He said they're all lined up to go to Walt Lake Casino to see Chuck Berry. I said, congratulations, you're the first one to see him. He's sitting right there in my car. So he got the party hat going, and we're on the shoulder, and we went all the way out to Walt Lake Casino. Now, I'm on the air on the stage in a plastic bubble, and Chuck Berry is backstage with our friend Dick Kernan. And in those days, Chuck Berry was being paid $1,000 a night, that's all, in front. And he said, I certainly do appreciate it, but I'm not going on until I have my $1,000. Dave Prince had to go up to the box office with a brown paper bag and get $1,001 bills and brought it back to the sound booth. And Chuck Berry is back there, 1, 2. I have a soundtrack here. We're late, so I can't play. So we got all the way through it, and the Funk Brothers are there, and they're ready, they're playing. And I'm on the air at 10 o'clock, and then the show goes on. Chuck Berry got through counting the $1,000, and he counted them again. He finally went on. On the way out to Walt Lake Casino behind the state police, I said, you know, what did you do while you were away? He said, well, I wrote some songs. He said, wait a minute, I got one right here in my coat. And he brought it out, and it was an old envelope with pencil scribblings on it. And on that envelope were the lyrics to a song that had not been recorded yet. And the lyrics went, as I got on the city bus, and saw a vacant seat. I thought I saw my future bride walking up the street. I shouted to the driver, "Hey, conductor, you must slow down. I think I see her. Please let me off this bus." Nadine.
Oh my God.
That was the beginning of Nadine. Chuck Berry went on Wall Lake Casino that night. There were 2,000 people in a building and only 1,500. They loved it. They screamed. They yelled. And he was terrible. He couldn't play the guitar any more than my Cooley High School friends. Well, they wouldn't let him play the guitar in prison. So the night closed. Next day he was on Club 1270 with the late brother Joel and me. And the Funk Brothers were there live. And we're on Channel 7, Club 1270, and I got a call from the Crestwood Motel. And the Crestwood Motel said, "Do you have a Mr. C. Berry staying here?" And I said, "Yes, we do. Could you possibly tell me how long he might be staying?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, maybe tonight or tomorrow. Is there a problem?" He said, "Well, yes. It seems that Mr. Berry has been up all night playing a very loud guitar." He was rehearsing. He went on television that night, that afternoon, and he was perfect. He and the Funk Brothers were perfect. He's never been better. And he went out to Wall Lake Casino that night, and he was even better than that. Well, my friend Dick Herndon, who is here, who worked with me at Wall Lake Casino, I had purchased a new tape recorder. And I brought the tape recorder out there, and Dick set it up, and I recorded that. I still have that recording.
Wow.
And it is wonderful. But on the other end of Wall Lake Casino, which was a big dance hall, on the other end was another stage. It was about 10 feet in the air on a small stage. It would hold about from Joey to me. That's the first time we ever had Stevie Wonder appearing anywhere, was on that little stage. Up on that stage was another Cooley graduate of ours, and I didn't know it was him. His name was Ron Melo. Ron was the chief engineer at Chess Records, and he was up there with all the recording equipment. I thought making like they're recording because the parole board, said that Chuck had to be out there working. Well, he was perfect that night, and I do still have the recording. However, that was 1963, 64. 50-some years later, I get a call from Universal Music.
Here, I have here. I got the record here.
And they said, "We have this recording from Walled Lake Casino in 1963, and we're going to release it in a special Chuck Berry package. Would you write some of the liner notes?" And I said, "You're kidding me. You don't have anything from Chuck Berry 50-some years ago." And they said, "Oh, yes, we do. In fact, we know the names of everyone that was in the Funk Brothers. They had Ken Cosby,
Not bad.
James Jefferson, all the big ones." So I said, "Sure." So I wrote some of the liner notes. Last year, when we were ready to do the reunion last year, it was released. One version has LPs that are in color, blue and red and purple. The other one in black and white. This is the package, right here. On the back of it, one of the things that Chuck Berry said before he went on, he thanked David Prince, and he thanked me, and he thanked us for Red Cramer. He said, "Talking's not my business. So I'm going to do a little play. He said, but before I do, I'm going to hear my echo. And he said, oh yeah? And everybody said, oh yeah? And he said, oh yeah again. And I said, oh yeah? Well, the name of LP number 4 in this package is Oh Yeah, live in Detroit, recorded at Walled Lake Casino, October 25th and 26th, 1963. First time on vinyl, first U.S. release.
Okay. Now, the management just said, oh no.
Ladies and gentlemen, the people who own Walled Lake Casino that we worked for and allowed us to broadcast so many years were Mr. and Mrs. Cleo and Red Cramer. They had 2 children. One was Joey, who is now deceased. And this is Jackie Cramer, the last remaining person from Walled Lake Casino. And you told me some stories about Chuck Berry being in your kitchen over there. And you said he wouldn't touch anything?
Wouldn't touch a thing. Wouldn't touch, no, he just got out of prison. Wouldn't touch a thing.
I didn't know he was over there. But we're not going to take much longer. So, on behalf of my friend at Universal Music, and all of these people, I want to present you with that package. There are 4 vinyl records in here that are LP, what we used to call LPs. LP 1 and 2, The Great 28 by Chuck Berry. LP 3 is More Great Chuck Berry. And LP 4 is Oh Yeah, live in Detroit. And on the other side is Chuck Berry's Christmas songs. But then the liner notes are in here. So you can read about your mom and dad at Walled Lake Casino. Now we had a man here earlier, I'll end with this. You heard him speak at the very beginning. His name is David Stout. He's the mayor pro tem of Novi. I met David in 2003 when I wrote my first book. David was working at a printer in Ferndale. And he's an oldies freak. And he took charge of my book, and they did the proofreading, which they didn't do such a hot job, Mr. Ankeny knows. But they did the proofreading, and they printed the book. Dave was a member of the Parks and Recreation out here in Novi at the time. Now, the property that Walled Lake Casino was on, and it's not far from here, Walled Lake Casino burned down on Christmas night of 1966, and it stayed vacant and just overgrown for 50 years until David Stout became a member of the council in Novi, and he was able to get a grant for $1 million, and they took that 11-acre property and turned it into the most wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous park. It's out there, yeah, it's the amusement park property was perfect. And you can go fishing out there, and the kids can run and play, and it's called Pavilion Shore. And if you ever get out there or go out there on your time here in Detroit, you'll see some plaques about Walled Lake Casino. Now the reason that this is important, I think, I have 27 million stories, and we don't have any time here. The reason that this is important, I think, is that Walled Lake Casino started back in the early 1900s, maybe 1903, 4, something like that, built by a family called the Tolatines. And it was very big because the big bands were big, and they were all out there. Sinatra was out there, Tommy Dorsey was out there, Ellington, they were all there. And then the big bands died in the middle to late 50s. And the Tolatines had no crowds and they couldn't afford a band. So the Cramers came along and bought it, I'm sure for not very much, because it wasn't working. Mr. Cramer had some disc jockeys out to do record hops, which were okay. And then they called me and they said, we'd like you to come out. And I said, I can't, I'm on at night. But I said, what are you doing Sunday afternoon in the summertime? I said, well, we're closed. What would it cost you to open up? Oh, maybe $200. I said, if you'd spend $2 to do that, and another $2 so I can talk about it on the radio, we'll go out and do one. So we did. And the first week we had about 300 people. And the next week we had about 600. And the next week we had about 9. And after that, it was jam-packed solid for the rest of the season. And then the remote broadcast started up. And so we were out there for all that time. And so the Cramers were the ones who revived the old dance hall that might have become just a barn that somebody would build an old restaurant on. And Jackie is with us. I learned that she was still with it, and she's in Florida. And I think her daughter is here, and her granddaughter as well. And so I just wanted to pay tribute to Jackie Cramer Combs. Is that correct? Thank you. Enjoy that. Enjoy that. By the way, that's for sale from Universal for about $100, I think. I have no more. I have 3 more hours I'd like to speak with you, but we don't have the time. So I just wanted to say, for those of you who are still here, on behalf of Robin, who came all the way from San Antonio to do this, and at age 93, that's not all that easy. And you came to pay tribute to him. And then all of the people who were on the radio and television, and the mayor, and Michael Bouchard.